to support the quarterback. So you have to support him first. Forget about the talent around him. You have to support him and bring him up to speed as far as NFL offenses. His throwing motion has to be changed a little bit. He's got a big wind-up delivery. I believe we can tighten that up. We've seen other guys have been able to tighten that up. He is fairly accurate with his football. Even though people will look to his stats in college, I believe he's a competent passer, and we know he's electric when he gets the ball in his hand. So, yes, I believe he can be an NFL quarterback.
And I'm glad, I agree 100%, and I'm glad this report came out because there are 5, you can make a case for any of the 5 guys as the reason you think they will be the best pro. If you want to make the case for Josh Allen, it's about measurables. If you want to make the case for Lamar Jackson, it's about he's simply electric with the football a la Deshaun Watson. Like with Rosen, it's pedigree. With Darnold, it's what he against the best competition. Like, you can make a case for any of these guys. So I'm glad that Lamar Jackson is not being forgotten in this. Amongst the noise about if he should go try to be a slot wide receiver, somebody's out there saying, hey, we actually think this guy could be a damn good quarterback in this league. I agree with you, though. The right system and the right coach is critical for him. He's probably a year or 2 away.
So the Seahawks reportedly moving on from tight end Jimmy Graham. One team interested in him, the Saints. Graham played for New Orleans for the first 5 seasons of his career. Nick, would you like to see a reunion here?
He was highly productive, and they fed him the football. Over 100 targets, I think, 5 straight years with New Orleans. I think a reunion would work, but I don't think New Orleans necessarily needs him. I wouldn't expect them to pay high dollar for him. They've got, obviously, some spectacular weapons with Michael Thomas, with both their running backs. It didn't work out great in Seattle. That was a trade I think both teams would have liked to have back. Seattle would have liked to have Max Unger back, and the Saints maybe would have liked to have Jimmy Graham back. We'll see if he goes back there.
I think New Orleans is in better position. They have a #1 receiver, one of the most underrated receivers in the league. That's in Michael Thomas, his second dynamic year out of Ohio State. Also, you don't want Jimmy Graham on this team because what is New Orleans right now? They are a running football team. Jimmy Graham is not an asset in the running game. He is a glorified wide receiver. He cannot block on the point of attack. He is not good in the running game. That's one of the reasons why he was made available in the trade to Seattle. So, no, if New Orleans is going to have the 2-back attack that they have now, they need a blocking tight end.
All right, Jerome Solomon of the Houston Chronicle is reporting that the Texans are not interested in signing free agents who have protested during the national anthem. The Texans have issued a statement calling that report, quote, categorically false and without merit. Nick, what was your reaction to all of this?
I know Jerome. Jerome is a columnist, but he also was a reporter. He's an excellent journalist. I believe Jerome Solomon. Period, point blank. I want to say that. My reaction to this is, and I used to live in Houston, I have a lot of friends, good friends, that are Texans fans. If I were a Texans fan, this would infuriate me. I understand it's the team's prerogative. Bob McNair can tell his general manager to sign who he wants him to sign. But if you are not doing everything you can to win football games, if you are, dare I say, putting your politics on the field, that is, to me, somewhat breaking your social contract with the fan, who, by the way, in Houston, have sold out every game in the history of that franchise, despite the team never being very good. So I guess the proof can be in the pudding. We'll see if they sign, who they sign this offseason, who they go after this offseason, but I believe Jerome Solomon's report.
Yeah, I believe the report to be true, but also I know behind the scenes there were several owners of teams, Jerry Jones included, Mr. McNair, and they had not encouraging things to say about what they thought about professional athletes and their ability to protest and utilizing the NFL platform to protest. So I believe in the story. Because I've heard behind the scenes what they said about the players. So I'm not surprised with it. But fans of the Texans and other teams, they should be appalled by it, because what about the players who were on the team who had to protest? They're not going to sign them too? So I thought they were trying to win a championship. I can guarantee you, if they do not sign players who were involved in the protest, they have zero chance of trying to win a championship in Houston.
And by the way, so the audience remembers, it was Bob McNair, the owner of the Texans, who said we can't have the inmates running the prison.
Yes.
In reference to the Texans and the NFL players protesting. And the Texans, by the way, could be awesome next year. Deshaun Watson, J.J. Watt coming back.
To the NBA now, Portland's Damian Lillard had a monster game against the Lakers last night, the opposite of what Isaiah Thomas had. Lillard scored 19 of his 39 points in the fourth quarter. Blazers went on to win 108-103. Now, Nick, how good has Lillard been this season?
And he's forgotten up in the Pacific Northwest.
Yes.
The team does not contend for championships, but that's not his fault. Like, Damian Lillard is on the very short list of the best guards in basketball. To me, Damian Lillard, you can make the case for Damian Lillard over a guy such as Kyrie Irving, who, because Kyrie got to play with LeBron and now he's in Boston, has gotten a lot more attention and credit. Lillard is that team's offense, along with C.J. McCollum. And CC, if Steph Curry didn't exist, we would talk about Damian Lillard as one of the best deep three-point shooters. I'm talking about from the logo that we've ever seen.
Yeah, he's a great player. We don't see him enough. There is a West Coast bias.
Yep.
And also, look at the other guards. Chris Paul, Steph in the West. It's hard for him to get the attention that that's why he has a hard time making the All-Star team. I mean, he is one of the great players that we don't talk about enough. It was nice. Yesterday, we were talking about Lonzo Ball. He got heated up last night with nothing he could do. 19 in the fourth quarter there. He's an amazing athlete. And, man, his skill level is as good as anyone in the NBA on the offensive end.
Right now, Portland's the 3 seed.
Yes.
The 3 seed.
Yeah, but there's not much difference between the 3 seed and the 10 seed there. And finally, some interesting news out of the NBA. The league is reportedly considering getting rid of the one-and-done rule. The NBA is also looking to get involved with elite players while they are still in high school. CC, you think this is a good idea?
Well, if they get rid of the one-and-done, what's going to be the rule?